Hello, it's the Happy Families Podcast, Friday edition, which means the weekend's around the corner. And today we talk about all the stuff that worked well for us this week, the stuff that didn't work so well, and how you can make your family happier. It's called I'll Do Better Tomorrow, and it's right after this. G'day, this is the Happy Families Podcast, where you get real parenting solutions every single day. It's Australia's most downloaded parenting podcast. We're Justin and Kylie Coulson. We are the parents of 6 daughters, grandparents of 1 grandbaby, and Kylie today is kicking us off with, you're looking tired, jet-lagged, not feeling fantastic about life.
Well, I was actually just thinking, she's not a baby anymore.
No. She's about to turn 3. A couple of weeks to go, and now granddaughter is 3.
And she's got the personality and drive of maybe a 10 or 12-year-old.
While you're thinking about how old she acts like she is, worth highlighting, both Jared and Chanel, our daughter and son-in-law, have talked about how she's the perfect baby, the easiest baby, the best baby, all that sort of stuff. And I haven't want to burst their bubble, but they're like, the terrible 2s haven't been terrible, it's been fine. And I don't want to tell them that 3 is awful. But, 3 is much harder than 2 is probably a better way to say it. I'm making it sound really bad. But the other day, Chanel said to me, really finding Indy challenging lately. It's like she's become a different person. And I looked at her and I said, kiddo, you know all those parenting books that I've written? It's time for the first one.
Yeah.
It's actually happening because 3 is way harder than anything you've experienced. And every time I talk to her now, she rolls her eyes and she's like, oh.
Do you want a toddler? She says to me every time.
3 is hard. I'm like, yeah, welcome to it. So my little book, What Your Child Needs From You, which she's been gleefully handing out to all of her friends who are saying they're having a hard time with their kids. She's suddenly gone, I think I need that book. Anyway, I flagged before, you're feeling a bit jet lagged. So what's your I'll Do Better Tomorrow, and how does it tie in with why you're so weary and waiting for the weekend?
Well, I actually had a really wonderful opportunity to take 3 of our children away for just over a week and spend some time learning together.
Yeah.
We attended a conference and we have classes from like 8:30 in the morning till 9:30 at night. It's a big day.
And everyone's listening going, and you called that a holiday,
yeah.
Right? But yes.
And there's so many different choices to make. So it meant that for most of the day, we were all going in different directions as we were kind of, I guess, inspired and directed to learn new things.
Which is so funny because when you talked about how you wanted to go and take the kids to this education conference for a week, you had this vision that the 4 of you would traipse around this university campus and sit in classes together and compare notes, and it didn't happen.
It didn't happen that way. And one of the classes I actually attended kind of talked about that concept. He suggested that sometimes as parents, and I would say in every facet of our lives, we create these recipes of what we think is going to make the perfect moment or the happy family or, kind of the perfect retirement, whatever it is. We've got this idea and we kind of create these sums. If I do X, Y, and Z, it's going to equal the happy life. If I, spend time with my children and we do lots of things together and I tuck them into bed each night and read them stories and kiss them on the head before they go out the door, then they're going to love me. And they're going to come to me every time they need something.
I'm listening to what you're saying and I'm really resonating with it from the point of view that when I do my resilience talk, everyone thinks that if they do X, Y, and Z, that the kid's going to be resilient. There's no guarantees. If I do X, Y, and Z, the kid's going to do well at school. If I do X, Y, and Z, they're going to have a successful life. This is the recipe idea.
It takes away other people's capacity to make choice, right?
Yeah.
If we create these recipes and we expect that it's all dependent on what we do, then we're not actually allowing our children the capacity to make their own choices.
Well, not just that, but if things don't work out the way that they're supposed to, we feel like we got the recipe wrong.
We've done something wrong.
I must have been a bad parent.
Do we miss the secret ingredient that's going to make it all better?
Yeah, I love this idea. Yeah.
Yeah. So as we went through the week, I without knowing it, kind of had created this idea of what was going to make the perfect week for us. And it didn't happen that way. And there were plenty of nights where I was actually in the dorm room all by myself. I had 3 empty beds.
Right.
And it would be really easy to kind of get upset about it and to think, I've spent all of this money to bring them here so that we can have this experience. And I don't think they're being really grateful. But as we went through the week, each of them sought me out at different times and was sharing the most beautiful experiences that they were having as they were meeting new people and spending time getting to know others and attending classes that were lighting them up. And I was seeing a change in them, like literally before my eyes, as they were kind of just relishing in these new relationships that were developing and just joy in learning things that resonated deeply with them. And I kind of realized that I think as parents, sometimes we just try to control every moment because we think we've got it all worked out.
Because we want to get the recipe just right.
Yeah. And yet the week we had was beautiful. It was just different to what I expected. And I'm so grateful that I was able to just let go of my own recipe, my own desires to kind of be in their space 24/7 and give them the space to have those individual experiences because they've come home different. And I'm really grateful for that.
Well, I missed you, but hearing the conversations that you had, I've just, as you're saying that, these conversations, the thing that parenting research shows matters the most for how kids sort of show up and do in their lives and avoiding doing dangerous and harmful things, having a good connection with their parents. One of the most powerful predictors of positive outcomes, and I know I'm sounding a bit recipe-ish here, but it's not how much we as parents are able to monitor and surveil what's going on in their lives, it's how much they disclose. And it sounds like by you letting go a little bit, the kids have felt free to come to you and talk to you a lot. There's been huge levels of disclosure, which means that you get to have this really strong connection and relationship building experience. What's your take-home message?
Let go of the recipes. Let go of right. the need to kind of. I'm going to use the word manipulate. I don't mean it in a bad way, but just let go of the need to manipulate and massage every moment and give it the breathing space that it deserves to allow our children to have the experiences that are needful for them in the moment.
I still think that there's a value in having a recipe now and then. Like dinner tastes good when you've got a recipe, and we've seen what happens with our kids when they cook without a recipe. Like, still worth having the right ingredients in the right proportions.
I agree.
But it sounds almost like there's a recipe for the no recipe, if that makes sense. Hey, after the break...
We're supposed to be uncomplicating things
I
here.
know, I'm sorry. After the break, what the parenting expert does when his wife goes away and leaves him with one of the kids who couldn't go to the education conference for the week, how I survived that amidst travel and conferences, and what we can learn about keeping our family on track when things feel like there's too much to do. Stay with us. Okay, I'll do better tomorrow. It's my turn. Kylie, how do you think our daughter found the time that you were away? Have you had any conversations with her? Did you say, how did Dad go? Has there been any rating or report card on my parenting performance?
There hasn't. She gave me a really big hug when I got home. But generally speaking, when I have gone away in the past, she kind of doesn't want to let me out of her sight when I come home. It's like, you're here and I don't want you going anywhere. But she's been really content. I actually think you've done a great job.
So I kind of forgot to put it into my diary that I wasn't going to be available to work because I was going to be looking after Emily, which meant that you left and I still had a full calendar of work and it was so hard to juggle it. I may have forgotten to take her to a birthday party.
You might have. I came home and the present was still sitting on the bench.
I totally forgot. I remember looking at the present going, what's that doing on the bench? I had no idea. I completely forgot.
Well, I did write an itinerary.
I forgot to look at the itinerary until day 5.
Every day.
Day 4 or day 5, I was like, oh, Kylie wrote out what was supposed to be happening. And that's when I realized that I'd missed the birthday on the Saturday. I feel so bad. Sorry, Martine. But I just really enjoyed, when I wasn't working, I really enjoyed spending time. And my first book, I'm not trying to flog a book here. I'm bringing it up because people always look at that first book, What Your Child Needs From You. It's like 70 or 80 pages. It's really small, really simple, just a couple of foundational principles for getting your family on track. And often parents will come to me and say, what's the right book for me to buy for my family? And I'll say, I think based on what you've described, this is the one. And a lot of people will turn their nose up at it. They'll be like, but what about the big, thick ones? Like, instead of 70 pages, what about 280 pages, that kind of thing. And yet it's the simple stuff that makes our families work the best. It's time. It's patience. It's understanding. It's reading a story, going for a walk, spending a couple of bucks on a smoothie or a breakfast, or going indoor rock climbing or 10-pin bowling or whatever it is, doing some kind of an activity. And they don't even have to be costly. It could be going for a bike ride, or walking your child down to the park and pushing them on a swing for half an hour longer than you think is reasonable because they never want to get off the swing once they're on it. And that's kind of how it was with Emily. It was just really low key, no pressure, time together, and it was delightful. Whether we were doing handstands and cartwheels, or whether we went and did some indoor rock climbing, nearly died when I had to pay the bill for that. But it was that kind of thing, and I just loved it. Hey, while we're at it as well, I wanted to mention, got some pretty amazing feedback, which I want to share because I'm pretty excited about it. So I was in Dubbo earlier this week and gave some parenting presentations to students in grade 9 and 10 at Dubbo College on respectful relationships, it's a really hot button topic because, well, you know why it's so challenging, especially for kids around 14, 15 years of age. Got some feedback from a parent who said the following. My daughter said, quote, "That was the best hour of my life," close quote. She said that she thought this is just going to be another one of those presentations, but Justin's presentation style and the way he covered topics made it a very engaging presentation. It's pretty thankless talking to students sometimes. Like, students just sit there and they're like, oh, do we have to be here? But these students at Dubbo College were outstanding. They sat there, they engaged, they had great conversations, they shared insightful feedback, and they were really interested in how they could make their school community feel more respectful. And to get that kind of feedback, it's just a really nice way to top off what can sometimes be a tricky part of my job, which is talking to students who did not ask to sit in the hall and listen to some guy up the front talk about respectful relationships. So, just thought I'd share that as well because I feel
it'd be interesting to talk to them about the recipe that they've created, helping those students be so engaged. There's a culture, right? You go into some schools and you can feel a different energy as kids come together and they want to engage, they want to learn, they want to create a community. And then you go into other places and you just experience this disconnect.
Yeah.
Kids don't want to be there.
I probably shouldn't say this, but the staff were actually a little nervous that it wasn't going to go well at all. From a cultural point of view, they thought, this is going to be pretty tough. We were stoked. Like, they were just such a great group. They absolutely shone. Also, a quick shout out to Cherie, who came up to me at the parent night at Dubbo College, who listens to the podcast every single morning. She gave me a great big hug. Said every morning at 6 o'clock, I put my headphones on, I listen to you guys, and I just love listening to the pod. So everywhere I go, I get wonderful comments like that. But Cherie was beautiful. She actually almost started crying. She was just, it was such a great experience. So Cherie and everyone who listens to the pod, we appreciate you and thank you. And we really are so grateful that you find this a helpful way to keep your family on track and keep your family strong. Hey, that's it for us for today. Thank you so much for joining us. The Happy Families podcast will be back on Monday, so we'll talk to you then. All thanks to Justin Rullon from Bridge Media, who looks after sound and audio engineering, and Mim Hammonds, who takes care of our admin and other support. If you want more info to make your family happier, visit happyfamilies.com.au and have a great weekend.